The following is a presentation of Prime Sports.
It's Prime Sports Major League Baseball. Tonight, from Three Rivers Stadium, our Pittsburgh Pirates take on the St. Louis Cardinals. Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good evening. Along with Jake Ploger, Bob Walk, Steve Blass, and Greg Brown, I'm Lanny Fratteri. The Cardinals are a game back of the Astros in the National League Central, and the Pirates currently find themselves 7 games back. The Pirates need offense, and it may be tonight that Jim Leyland will look to his 4 left-handed batters in the lineup against Todd Stottlemyre. Al Martin, Orlando Merced, Mark Johnson, and Dave Clark are batting a combined .560 against Stottlemyre. Bob Walk is alongside as we broadcast from Section 40 again tonight. In addition to needing offense, Jim Leyland needs a couple of solid starting pitching performances, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. Lanny, I think right now that the starting pitching problems are going to come to a head right now. Only 2 guys right now are going out there and giving them a good, consistent effort. That being Denny Nagel and Danny Darwin. Zane Smith has had 3 horrible starts. Elmer DeCen's 3 bad starts in a row. Wagner, I don't even think is healthy right now. I don't know if when he's going to be back in there on a regular basis. So things could really get ugly right here, and this is a very important time to have good starting pitching. We're playing all these games against the Central Division, and we're 7 games back, and we can move one way or the other, and we need to move forward.
It is a gorgeous night in Pittsburgh, and we're pleased to have you with us. We'll provide you with the starting lineups and the start of the ball game on Prime Sports in just a moment. Pirates baseball on Prime Sports, brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. By Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealer near you. By Midas, auto systems experts. What can we do for you today? By Sunoco, who reminds all Pirate fans to stop into Sunoco and see the changes they're making for you. By Ladbroke, racing's only half the fun. By Giant Eagle, it takes a giant to make life simple. And by Just for Men, the leader in men's hair coloring, blends away gray in 5 minutes. Zane Smith pitching for the Pirates tonight, 16th start of the year, and we start with Royce Clayton hitting a ground ball as second baseman Nelson Liriano. So we're off very quickly with the first out of the game. That out 4-3, and Ray Langford batting second, playing center field. It's Clayton, Langford, and Gant, the first 3 in the St. Louis Cardinals batting order, followed by Brian Jordan, Gary Gaetti, and John Mabry, Tom Pagnozzi, David Bell, and Todd Stottlemyre. 1 strike pitch. Flare hit into left field by Jordan, or by Langford rather. 1 out single. The Cardinals had a long first inning yesterday afternoon as they marched on to a 7-1 win over the Bucks. Let's take a look at the Pirates defensively.
And you see Dave Clark, Al Martin, Orlando Merced in the outfield. Jeff King's over at third base tonight. Charlie Hayes getting the night off. Nelson Liriano at second. Carlos Garcia also getting a rest. Mark Johnson playing first because Jeff King had to move over to third base.
The 3 Pirates struggling the most offensively: Charlie Hayes, Jay Bell, and Carlos Garcia. Ron Gant taking a pitch outside. Gant's average of 244. Bob, did you talk to anybody about the Gant sacrifice bunt yesterday?
Oh, no, I forgot about that. That was a very unusual play to me to see him do that.
In the 3rd inning, after Langford had doubled, Gant dropped down the bunt against DeCen's. Moved Langford to third, and Langford scored on Brian Jordan's base hit. And Zane is behind 2 balls, no strikes. Jim Leyland saying on his radio show a couple of times that the last time out, Zane had been dropping his hand, dropping his arms, and everything. The breaking pitch was flattening out. We'll also be watching to see how much Zane uses the knuckleball. Jason Kendall told us he did not, the Pirate catcher did not use the knuckleball glove in St. Louis. Not a good start for the 35-year-old left-hander Zane Smith with a record of 4-5, an earned run average of 452. 2 on, 1 out, first inning.
Right fielder, number 3, Brian Jordan.
Brian Jordan had 4 RBIs yesterday.
Well, the thoughts, you touched on what Jim said about the breaking ball being up. So obviously control really a big reason why Zane hasn't pitched well as of late. The base on balls to Gant, definitely not a good sign.
Missing the strike zone with 5 consecutive pitches.
Jim Leyland very concerned right now about his starting pitching.
Jim knows what it's going to take to fix the problems of the Pirates, but Jim's not sure how they'll be able to pick up the necessary pitchers. Certainly there doesn't seem to be enough money in the pot. Runners going. Pitch a ball. High throw from Kendall. And the double steal puts 2 Redbirds in scoring position. Langford at third, Gant at second.
And that shot from center field, you could see Langford disappear out of the shot immediately. That was an excellent jump. The ball was down. Jason having to move behind the hitter Jordan to make that throw into third base, but didn't matter. It was going to be late anyway. Langford just too good of a jump.
Jim Leyland playing the middle infielders back. We've seen the Pirates skipper a good bit with 1 out play the infield in that with runner at third base only. But now, of course, there's 2 men on base.
Yeah, with 2 guys on base, you can't really take that chance.
And now the intentional walk will be ordered. This will make it 8 consecutive balls. 4 in a row to Gant, 4 straight to Jordan. Bases loaded, 1 out for Gary Gaetti, and Ray Miller's going to the mound.
You wanted to get off to a good start here. This has been the big problem at home. These first innings, getting behind early and having to play catch-up baseball with an offense that's not good at that type of baseball.
And right off the bat of the first inning, we see a decision of Tony La Russa's apparently put the Cardinals in a better position, because yesterday Mabry batted 5th. With the right-hander descends on the mound, and Gaetti was hitting 6th. Today, it's Gaetti batting 5th, Mabry 6th, so it's Gaetti hitting behind Jordan and batting with a bases loaded, 1 out. 9 ground ball double plays behind Zane Smith this year. Right center field, the fly ball hit by Gaetti. Al Martin makes the catch in deep right center. Langford scores, 1-0 Cardinals. Gant to third, Jordan to second.
Boy, Al really had a long ways to have to run to catch up with this ball. It kept slicing further and further away from him. He got back to the track in plenty of time, but then he had to run along the wall to get to this ball. See, that's a pitch that's up around the belt. That is not where Zane needs to have the baseball. I think it has to be about a foot lower than that. You know, I think when Gaetti saw Al Martin get to the warning track and then speed up along the wall, I think he thought for a second that ball was going to fall in. That's why he was kind of upset when he saw,
he certainly looked disappointed. Though he gets a sacrifice fly. John Mabry takes a strike, 0-2. All right, Zaner, let's close it down right now. We'll cut our losses and see if we can regroup after a half inning. Yesterday, the St. Louis Cardinals scored 2 runs in the 5th inning without a base hit, going on to a 7-1 win. And the Cardinals with a run on 1 hit in the 1st inning tonight. Ground ball to third baseman King. Mabry's out. St. Louis scores once. The Redbirds won. And the Pirates coming to bat. Hello from Three Rivers on Prime Sports. 1-0 St. Louis. That's Matthew Molinaro here at Three Rivers Stadium enjoying the action. Let's take a look now at the Pirates batting order. Carlos Garcia is not in the lineup. Nelson Liriano leads off. And we talked earlier about the 4 strictly left-handed batters. Al Martin, number 2. Merced, number 4. Johnson in the number 5 spot. Dave Clark hitting 6th. Bell, Kendall, and then Zane Smith, who is also a left-handed hitter.
Take a look at how the Cardinals line up defensively across the outfield. Ron Gant, Ray Langford, Brian Jordan, Gary Gaetti at third. He had that sacrifice fly. Clayton, the shortstop. No Ozzie Smith as of yet. David Bell, Mabry, Pagnazzi's behind the plate, and Todd Vernon Stottlemyre on the mound.
Nelson Liriano hitting .236. How many big league players do you think there are now currently in the major leagues with a middle name Vernon?
I think we're looking at him.
The only one?
That'd be my guess.
Ball off the glove of Mabry. David Bell to Todd Stottlemyre. Scored the play 3-4-1.
I'll do that. 3-4-1. Vernon makes the play.
Here's another assignment for you for the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Mabry able to lunge for the ball, slow it down. David Bell was in the right spot, and so was Todd Stottlemyre. Nelson tried to beat it out, hustling down the line, but he was out. Al Martin, a 10-game hitting streak. Cincinnati beat Chicago this afternoon 3-0. Dave Burba the winner. Jeff Brantley picking up his 22nd save. Burba, Carrasco, and Brantley combined to pitch the shutout. Cincinnati at the moment 4 back of Houston in the National League Central. And the Cubs, after the loss, 6.5 behind Houston. The Astros and the Braves no score in the first inning tonight in Atlanta. Check swing bouncer to Stottlemyre. Al Martin is out number 2. 1-0 St. Louis in the top of the inning. Ray Langford scored on Gaetti's fly out to deep right center.
That's 7 games back that we were looking at there. You're on the edge of danger zone. You get further back. There you see the circle changeup. That was a good shot right there, the grip of that changeup that Stottlemyre threw. You have the 3 fingers on the outside part of the hand behind the ball. And you take that index finger off the ball and lay it on the side, and what you're doing is you have 2 power fingers, the middle finger and your index finger, and to throw a changeup you want to get one of those fingers off the ball. So when you make that OK signal, you're taking the index finger off from behind the baseball and putting it alongside, and you cannot use it to push the ball toward the plate. So no matter how hard your arm comes through, because you have that one of those 2 fingers off the baseball, you can't get the same velocity on it.
Okay. So the second and third fingers are the power fingers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, index and middle finger.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking pitch outside 3-1.
Now, you can take your middle finger off the ball too. Gene Garber used to throw a changeup like that, where you would just kind of bend it in half and put your ring finger and your index finger behind the ball. And I'm trying to show you, Lanny. I'm sure folks at home aren't seeing this, but oh, we're going to get a shot of it right here. Here we go.
Ball popped up, and we'll have to come back and talk about it because Gary Gaetti has out number 3.
Good idea.
At the end of 1 on Prime Sports, Cardinals 1, Pirates nothing. Tom Pagnazzi batting in the number 7 spot, leading off the second. 1-0 St. Louis. Well, we have a baseball for Bob Walk.
We're going to
can
go
show
through
you
the
what
world
Bob's
of
talking
changeups.
about.
The reason I know how to throw all these changeups is I always had a horrible one, and I've tried every one.
Jake, come on in here closer
What?
so you get a good look at this, Jake. You don't want to miss this opportunity. This is changeup 101.
Okay, now the OK circle changeup right here. You're taking these 2 fingers from behind the ball. There's your fastball grip. You bring this one alongside. Yep. They interrupted us with a base hit.
Oh, terrible of them.
Okay, here we are back again. This is what Stottlemyre is throwing. You can see these 3 fingers on the back of the ball. This is the OK sign you're making. So the ball is coming off of these fingers here, and that's why you can't get anything on the ball. Now, what I was talking about before taking the middle finger off,
This is the Gene Garber change.
yeah, is you hold it like that, and you're pushing the ball with these two fingers, and this one's not doing anything. And then there's the Randy Tomlin Vulcan change.
Turn towards the camera that way so
Oh,
you can see
there
where
we
your
go,
fingers
camera.
are there.
There we are, like that, the Vulcan change.
Okay, tip your hand down a little bit. There they go. Okay. Fall off
But,
the way.
but you know, there's all kinds of things. The key of any changeup, though, is to get these two power fingers off from behind the baseball so you can't push with it. Either get one of them off or the other one. And that's what makes it split finger so effective, is because you get the great arm motion, but because these fingers are split off to the side like that, the ball comes out and doesn't have that great backspin.
Okay.
And so the ball comes out a little slower, and because it doesn't have the backspin, gravity will take a hold of it as it comes toward the plate, and it'll dive. And that's why the split finger works so well.
Okay, while you have the ball, show the knuckleball grip now. Well, how you threw a knuckleball.
How do I throw a knuckleball?
Yeah, I mean, how did you throw the knuckleball?
Well, actually, it's a fingertip ball. You put your fingertips on it and push. And the ball is actually supposed to come off this part of the hand, the knuckleball, right here. It's supposed to push it, and it'll come off, and the last thing it'll touch is this part of the hand. It comes out like this. These fingers come off the ball like that.
Turn Jake's mic on, will you, Dennis?
For the changeup now, is the rotation of the arm movement any slower, or?
No, the arm movement is complete. See, that's why you hold that circle change, and you take these two balls. See, this finger does nothing. It's just laying on the side of the baseball instead of behind it. So when it's just laying there, all your power is coming from these two, and this one is a weak finger. So no matter how hard you try and throw the ball like this, you can't get the same velocities you can with those two fingers, your power fingers. So the arm comes through exactly the same speed. The problem with mastering this pitch, though, is you can't have the same control, or it's very difficult to have the same control throwing the baseball with these two fingers as you can with these two fingers. And that's where the difficulty in having a good changeup is being able to throw it where you want to with these two fingers on the baseball behind it, as opposed to these two, because you've been throwing it ever since Little League like this, and that's the way you've been used to doing it. And so it's tough to change like that and still be able to throw it with control.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I don't know if it does or not.
No, I think it does, and we could probably pass the test later if there is one. Stolen base for Pagnazzi, his third of the year. Jason Kendall had a little trouble getting a grip of the baseball.
Couldn't get
change
the
up or
power
otherwise.
fingers behind that ball. See, that might be Pagnazzi's first steal of the year.
No, third.
Third? Oh, wow.
The Redbirds have been doing a good bit of running against the Pirates the last couple of weekends. St. Louis knows that Jason's had a good bit of trouble throwing out runners. Pagnazzi remains at second as David Bell is thrown out. 1-0 St. Louis at the top of the second. David Bell, the son of Detroit Tigers manager Buddy Bell, and Jason Kendall is the son of Tigers coach Fred Kendall.
You know, Lanny, I was talking to director Dennis Galloway, and he wanted me to mention one more thing, or suggested it about this changeup business before we leave it completely. About kids, which is the easiest one for them to start with early?
That's a great question.
And it's definitely, I think, the one that Stottlemyre is throwing, the circle change. Because if you try to split your fingers out wide and you have little short fingers, you can't do that. See, I got long fingers, so I can split them out wide. But the circle change, it would be a much easier changeup to start little kids throwing. And if they get used to it at a young age, then when they get older, it just comes natural for them to be able to throw the ball with those two fingers and throw it for a strike.
Well, a lot of folks are concerned about youngsters throwing the curveball too early. Is there a concern about trying to master a changeup too early in life?
No.
Okay. 1 and 2 on Stottlemyre.
Because everything is exactly the same, or is supposed to be exactly the same as the fastball. The only difference between the two pitches should be that you're not throwing the ball with your two power fingers behind it. That's the only difference.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
If you're slowing down your arm or trying to turn the ball over, well, then that's not really a true straight changeup.
Stottlemyre throwing the bat at the ball. Stottlemyre, pretty good hitter. 10 hits. And Tommy Reynolds, third base coach, brings the bat back to Stottlemyre, son of New York Yankee pitcher and New York Yankee coach Mel Stottlemyre.
Yeah, how fooled he was on that breaking ball.
All 10 of Stottlemyre's hits singles. That goes flying. Stottlemyre strikes out.
Need a safety strap on there for him. It's almost an instant replay of the other one that he threw the bat at. Just didn't make the contact.
Stottlemyre, the second out of the inning.
You saw La Russa there widening his hands apart, looking out to his third base coach. He wants to make sure that Pagnozzi has a big secondary lead, so he has a chance to score on a single here with 2 outs. In other words, what's going on right now? The infielders are going to start playing back now with 2 outs. So he wants to make sure Pagnozzi takes advantage of it. You can see where Jay Bell is back by the white line, Nelson Liriano back by the white line. You got to take advantage of that. Make sure that you get a good secondary lead so that you can score easily on a base hit.
Now explain the secondary lead.
Okay, your primary lead is the lead you take out while the pitcher is in the set position. As soon as his leg kicks and he starts to go home, then you bounce out a little further. That's called your secondary. You saw Pagnozzi leave the shot right there. He was in his primary lead. As soon as Zane starts his delivery, he goes into his secondary lead. The secondary lead is important when you're thinking about trying to score on a base hit. Your primary lead is the important one if you're thinking about trying to steal the base. Now that's his primary lead where he's at right now. And that's an awful big lead, but nobody's around him. So you saw him take a couple shuffle steps.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Clayton. 1-0 Cardinals in the second.
Pagnozzi not the fleetest of foot, even though he does have those 3 steals. So that he needs to get as good a jump as possible.
Jay Bell throws out Royce Clayton. The Cardinals leave a runner at second base. On Prime Sports, in the middle of the second inning, the Cardinals won and the Pirates nothing. In the bottom of the second inning, Merced, Johnson, and Clark, and Pat Fike of Brookville is the first Giant Eagle contestant of the night. Pat will win a $50 Giant Eagle gift certificate if a Pirate homers in the inning. In the fourth inning, we'll be joined by Jesse Hyde, freelance golf artist, and we'll have a chance to show you some of Jesse's work. Coming down from Shingle House, Pennsylvania, to be with us this evening. Orlando 8 for 16 on the homestand. Merced has hit 3 of his 11 home runs against St. Louis this season. The Bucks and Cardinals playing again tomorrow night and then Sunday afternoon. The All-Star break is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The All-Star game in Philadelphia Tuesday night. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Last pitch, the circle changeup. If you watch Stottlemyre go into his glove, you can pretty much see what he's going to throw there. You saw the 2 fingers on the back of the ball, the fastball. But that's how a lot of pitchers give away the fact that they're going to throw a changeup. You can see the two power fingers right behind the ball. But the way pitchers give away the fact that they're going to throw a changeup and let the hitters know, mistakenly by accident, is when you reach in your glove to get that circle change, because you're bringing the thumb and the index finger along the side of the ball, you have to make your glove a little wider to get it around the ball. And So a lot of hitters will look for that glove to flare open as you reach in to get the ball. They see the glove flare open a little wider than normal. They know that the guy's trying to get a change-up grip.
Would it not make sense then to start with a change-up grip, and then, I guess, of course, in Stottlemyre's case, he starts with his bare hand out of the glove.
Yeah, and so you have to reach in and get the grip you want then. What a lot of guys will do, and Denny Nagel has kind of done this a lot. Well, hit hard to the right side. Denny Nagel's done this a lot. Is, you know, he'll intentionally flare the glove open like that, kind of exaggerate it, and then throw a fastball in the inside corner and try to get that hitter thinking, oh, okay, I got him. He's getting a changeup grip. And once a pitcher does that a couple of times to a hitter, they'll quit looking at that glove.
Mark Johnson drives the ball up the corridor, right center field. It's a book rule double. First Pirate hit of the game. A smoker by Johnny Pop.
He pulled that one ball hard foul. Probably just told himself to wait a little bit longer. Tuck that front shoulder down. There he got a good shot at the way that shoulder was down as long as he could. Didn't fly open, and he kept his head on the ball. To the front shoulder. If the front shoulder comes open too early, the head will come off the ball, and you'll pull a little grounder to second base.
1-0 St. Louis, bottom of the second. Comebacker, knocked down by Stottlemyre. Dave Clark is out. Mark Johnson did the right thing, because Johnson, the vantage point that he had, led him to believe that Stottlemyre was going to make the catch, and if Mark doesn't stop, he's going to be dead between second and third if Stottlemyre does make the play.
Yeah, you can't. You're jumping off. If you're Mark Johnson right here, right, it looks like a comebacker right now. You got to go back to second. Now you see the ball's popped out, but it's too late. You have to stay there.
1-0 St. Louis.
You know, and you look at the situation, 2 outs. You know, there's no reason for you to make that gamble anyway. You can still score on a base hit from second. It's going to take a base hit to score you because there's the out situation.
Jay Bell continues to struggle, though. Jay hit the ball hard twice yesterday.
I think Jay is hit about 6 or 7 of his last, say, dozen balls that he's put in play. I think he's hit them fairly crisply and hard on the screws. And I think he's making much better contact than he was about the middle of that last road trip.
Clayton will hold out of the ball. Mark Johnson told to stay close to third by Gene Lamont. First and third.
Very important that Gene lets Mark know, even before he gets to the third base bag, that the ball has been cut off by Clayton. It's not through. If you round the bag, you're gonna be out. So immediately, as Mark is coming to the base, Gene has to be screaming at him, stay on the bag, stay on the bag. The shortstop's got the ball.
Jason Kendall batting .340 with runners in scoring position this year. First and third, 2 outs. Pitches low, ball 1. 1-0 St. Louis. The Cardinals posted the run on the first inning off Zane Smith. Gaietti's fly ball to right center, deep enough to score Langford. In this inning, Mark Johnson doubled, moved to third on Bell's infield single. Ground ball up the middle. Clayton throws out Kendall. The Pirates are turned away. Pat Pike, our Giant Eagle contestant, will receive 2 tickets to a Pirates game. After 2 on Prime Sports, St. Louis 1, the Pirates nothing. 1-0 St. Louis. Tomorrow we'll be visiting many of our Pirate fans at special Giant Eagle stores throughout the area. Steve Blass, Mark Johnson, and Bob Robertson will be at the Kennedy Township Giant Eagle tomorrow. That's from noon to 1. Bob Walk, or let me say where I will be with John Lieber and Nellie Briles at the North Huntington Giant Eagle from noon to 1 tomorrow. Charlie Hayes, Greg Bryan, and Elroy Face will be visiting our friends at the Edgewood Town Center Giant Eagle, and Bob Walk will be with Carlos Garcia and Bob Friend at the Cranberry Mall Giant Eagle. Picking up milk, orange juice, vanilla ice cream, sliced ham, and what was the fifth item?
Oh, dog food.
Dog food,
I got
of course.
dog food today, though.
Oh, so you're all right. Okay. 1-1 on Ray Langford, who scored the game's only run.
Did you say sliced ham?
Sliced turkey. Sliced turkey. No, you said sliced ham, and I disagreed with you.
I know. I would have brought the wrong thing home.
Hey, speaking of fish stories, and I understand that Jesse Hyde, who will be joining us, knows a little bit about fishing, but gentleman over here in section 41 told me earlier that he's still not sure he believes that whole routine about holding your mouth the right way. But we'll check with Jesse and see if he knows any more about it.
All right. Check that out.
Florida and Philadelphia 1-1 in the fourth inning. John Burkett pitching for the Marlins against Michael Mims. Royce Clayton making a fine play, gliding to his left to take care of the Jason Kendall ground ball. And so Jim Leyland's team is still down a run as we play in the third inning. Foul ball back to the screen. Jim Leyland told us that he would probably know later today as to whether Paul Wagner would get the start on Sunday or not. Wags was throwing in the bullpen before the game. Ball in on the hands and foul back out of play. Montreal 2, New York nothing after 1 in Montreal.
I talked to Wags after he got done throwing just to see how things went. He said that as far as pain goes, his arm felt fine, but he still doesn't feel like his arm has any light. The velocity is not there.
Darwin pitching tomorrow. A good pitch from Zane Smith. Spotted very well.
Zane threw some good breaking balls there to Langford in that series, 2 down out of the strike zone where he needs to be throwing them. But I still don't think that that Wags' arm, to me, it doesn't sound like he's 100% healthy. Because normally, you know, he's one of the harder throwers, you know, in this league as far as starters go. He's always been consistently 92, 93 miles an hour. And if that's not there, if he's just in the getting to the low 80s, then there's definitely something a little wrong there that maybe needs more rest or whatever. And I think that's what Jim Leyland's thinking about, maybe skipping him Sunday and letting him have the 3 extra days of the All-Star break. Plus, after the All-Star break, Jim can kind of set up that rotation however he wants.
The Pirates will be in Cincinnati right after the break. The home plate umpire is Larry Vanover. Jerry Crawford, Ed Montague, and Wally Bell on the bases. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1-0 St. Louis, 1 out of the third. Atlanta and Houston no score in the second inning. Darryl Kyle against Jason Schmidt. Colorado at Los Angeles, later on San Francisco at San Diego. In the National League East, Atlanta's lead over Montreal is 4 games. National League West, Dodgers and Padres tied for first. I don't believe we've gotten our first foul ball back here in section 40, have we?
Nope, not while I've been here. I was going to bring a glove out today.
You've decided that
That's
you want the
key.
glove as opposed to the fishing net.
Yeah, I want to go with the glove. Fishing net would be too embarrassing for me to use a fishing net.
Ron Gann looking at strike 3, 2 outs.
Now this is the Zane Smith that we got used to seeing first couple months of the season. The excellent control, painting that fastball, keeping the breaking pitch down in the strike zone when he throws it, or off the plate inside to the right-handed hitters. That's another spot that he had a lot of success early in the year, throwing his breaking ball. Used it as a pitch to get in on the right-handers with.
Ball gets by Jason Kendall.
Practicing catching a foul ball. I got it.
Now you look like Kent Biggerstaff. Biggie's famous for sitting in the dugout, just flipping the ball in the air and catching it.
Well, he's always got somebody's first hit or something in his hand, getting ready to sign it. You know, speaking of Biggie and speaking of Wagner, have you heard anything from Ken about you know,
Ball, no.
Yeah, about what he expects of him?
No, I did not talk to him about it. 3-1 on Jordan, 2 outs. Jordan's line drive to right field. Drops in for a base hit. Orlando coming on quickly, but realized it was best he tried to make the play on this short hop. Bottled water, please.
We're going to see it again. Yeah, I'll take water also. Thank you, Gil.
Bottled water, please. Line drive, Orlando coming on and makes the play off the carpet.
I tell you, that ball only bounced a couple inches in front of his glove. It wasn't as far out in front of him as I thought the first time we saw it.
Gary Gaetti knocked in the game's only run. Jordan is running. Ball 1. Stolen base.
Oh, boy, that was an excellent throw right on the bag. When I saw the jump, I could tell it wasn't going to be a good one and Kendall was going to have a chance. I thought if he made a good throw, Jordan was going to be out. There's the good throw.
You know, I'll tell you what, if Nelson waits for the ball and brings the glove straight down, he might get him.
Yeah, you saw there in that shot, that was a good view of Nelson catching the ball in front of the bag and having to bring the glove and the ball back to the bag instead of making the catch and bringing it straight down. Just catching it and going straight down is quicker than catching it out in front of the bag. And then not only do you have to bring it down, you have to bring the ball back. Jordan's sliding for that back corner.
Runner going again. Gaetti's base hit into right field will drive home the Cardinals' second run. Nelson Liriano trying to shade a bit towards second and keep Jordan close. And there was an extra couple of feet for Gaetti through that right side.
You see, with 2 outs, I don't really think that's an important thing for the infielders to be doing. I'd rather them play out there as far as they can, keep their good range, and get the out. If that guy steals third, who cares? There you see all the signs being flashed. But when you try to dog a base runner at second base, that's going to happen sometimes. You're going to be out of position a little bit, and then a ball's going to slip through the hole. But with 2 outs, doesn't make any difference if the guy runs or not.
Mabry singles to center. John Mabry had 3 hits yesterday.
You know, a lot of times, Jim Leland won't even have the third baseman cover the bag when they steal third with 2 outs. For that very reason, he doesn't want the guy playing third running to the bag as a ground ball goes through his position.
Jordan off with the pitch that was hit by Gaetti.
You didn't see Jeff King there at that bag. I'm not even sure if Jeff King left his position to cover the bag.
Now the Mabry base hit. Sam Pagnozzi hits the ball to left center field. The ball hitting near the base of the wall. Gaetti scores. Mabry will score. It is 4-0 St. Louis. 4 straight Cardinal hits after 2 outs in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, what started out to look like it was going to be an excellent inning for Zane. The 2 strikeouts. Now disaster has struck. 4 runs in 3 innings.
Let me hear you.
See Dave Clark pull up and decide to play to Karam. Ball short hopping the wall. Ground ball to second baseman Liriano. David Bell is the 3rd out, but St. Louis scores 3 runs on 4 hits. Middle of the 3rd on Prime Sports. St. Louis 4, The Pirates nothing. Hi, Heather. Come here a minute. 4-0 is the score. Come here a minute, Heather. Zane Smith will be leading off. Bob, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine.
All right.
She is a sweetheart. This is Heather Prizak, and she is from Boston, New York, up near Buffalo.
How you doing, Heather? Would you like a baseball?
Well, that's going to be her second of the day.
Oh, you've already got one? Oh, well, now you have to.
But Heather was kind enough to bring me a present. She knows I like ties. She brought me a tie today.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Is it a pretty tie? Did you bring a pretty tie?
Well, I'll show it to you. It's a baseball tie. It's a bat tie.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about wearing it today, but it really didn't go with the shirt, and I didn't think it was going to blend well. But I met Heather's mom and dad. Ground ball by Zane Smith, and first baseman Mabry will make the play one away. About 2 years ago, I was standing outside Gate A, and there was a long line. They were waiting for the gates to open, and I met the Pruzaks. They were there, and they asked me. They were in town because Carol's dad was in the hospital in Pittsburgh. And so she asked me to say hello to her dad. I did, and we've become friends. And now I've met their daughter, Heather. She's a real peach of a young lady. Isn't she cute, huh?
Well, she's cute, and she has 2 baseballs now. She really made out today. Oh, she almost fired that ball.
They're going to be with us all weekend, as a matter of fact. They purchased tickets. I tried to offer them free tickets, but they already purchased their tickets. And will be with us throughout the weekend. Ground ball and another fine play by Clayton, but his throw is low. Liriano is safe at first.
That ball bouncing into the stands and back out onto the field. They'll go ahead and take it on down to second. Clayton, just a great job of getting back up off the ground. This is what Ozzie Smith has done so well over the years. Go down onto the ground and bounce back up. But he couldn't get the ball there on the fly, and Mabry not able to pull it out. Look how quickly he gets to his feet after sliding on the ground.
It's a base hit for Liriano, an error charged on Clayton, allowing Nelson to go to second. 4-0 St. Louis. And now Al Martin will step in. In just a moment, Jesse Hyde will be joining us. Al takes the pitch down, low ball 1. Martin with 5 straight 2-hit games before today. Here's the 1-ball pitch. Martin's fly ball to left, hit well. Pushing Gant to the warning track. Martin is out number 2, and Liriano advances to third base. Thanks, Heather. Thank you. That'll bring up Jeff King. The Pirates were looking to get on the board in the second inning, but Johnson was left at third. Now Liriano tags up and has the opportunity to advance to third base. And the ball hit to the warning track by Al Martin.
Gant did such a good job of getting back to the wall early and setting up that he tipped it off to Liriano that it was going to be an easy catch, and so Liriano had the luxury of no indecision about going halfway. Was the ball going to be off the wall or not? He got back and tagged up and went to third. If Gant kind of drifts on that ball and looks like there's some indecision on whether he's going to catch it or not, then Liriano might have to play it halfway so that if the ball does bounce off the wall, he'd be able to score on that.
3 balls, no strikes. St. Louis scored 1 run in the first, 3 runs in the third. Stottlemyre 7-6 this year, 1-1 against the Pirates. Jeff draws a walk.
He hasn't really pitched all that well as of late. It's been almost a month now since he's gone 7 innings in a ball game. June 8th, he threw 8 innings at San Francisco. beat us on the 30th of June. He only pitched 6 innings, although he did a good job in those 6 innings, only giving up the 4 base hits. Had a big lead as the Cardinals beat Zane 10-3.
Orlando chasing the pitch that was most likely out of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Orlando with just 33 RBIs. Two outs, runners at 1st and 3rd. At Wrigley Field this afternoon, the Cubs lost to the Reds 3-0. Dave Burba was the winner. Barry Larkin hit 2 home runs in that game, numbers 11 and 12. One ball, 2 strikes. In the American League, Chicago and Cleveland no score in the 4th inning. Wilson Alvarez against Royal Hershiser. You know, you were talking earlier, or we were mentioning earlier, about Ron Gant putting down the sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. The other thing that raised some eyebrows after the game yesterday, or during the game late, Jeff Parrott coming in, even though the Cardinals had a 7-1 lead. Just as outside 2-2.
Just to get 1 hitter. There was 2 outs in the 9th inning, 7-1 lead, and that was the move that was made. And really, I didn't understand it at the time, but he came in, got the hitter. The game was over, so I really didn't think much of it after that. But that's Tony La Russa taking caution to the extreme.
Two balls, 2 strikes. After 1 out of the inning, Liriano singled, moved to 2nd on the air, advanced to 3rd on a flyout, then King walked. Brissett strikes out, and for a 2nd straight inning, the Pirates leave runners at 1st and 3rd. After 3 on Prime Sports, the Cardinals 4, the Pirates nothing. 4-0 St. Louis, ready now for our guest inning, and it's brought to you by Mellon Bank, the most convenient bank around, and we're pleased to have Jesse Hyde with us. Jesse, thank you for coming down from, where was it, Shingles House?
Shingle House, Pennsylvania.
Hi, that's up near Coudersport?
Yeah, up in Potter County, north central Pennsylvania.
All right, and we have the opportunity to share with our viewers some of your work. You've been a golf artist specifically, or you do sports of all kinds?
Quite a bit of different sports, but mainly golf. Different tournaments, going to private clubs, things like that.
We're going to take a look at some of your work. This is Oakmont?
Yeah, number 9 at Oakmont. Yeah, I was the official artist for the U.S. Open there in 1994. Really enjoyed it. This is, of course, up in Buffalo, New York, called the Park Country Club. And this is where the PGA is going to be played this year. This is Wingfoot, above New York City in the mainland, New York. And this is Marion, down around Philadelphia.
I thought that was Bob Walk's house there for a moment. Where was that, in Marion? Okay.
Yeah, Marion, Philadelphia.
There were no weeds growing around. It couldn't be my house.
No, here's Bob's house now.
Yeah, this is in Baltusrol. I was the artist at the '93 U.S. Open also, and sold lithographs of that print. And you have one of the 18th of Oakmont, I think, coming up also.
Now, do you only do so many prints of your work?
Yeah, it's limited. 300. Like the U.S. Open's probably around 500.
When did you start? There's the pop-up by Royce Clayton and Jay Bill goes out tour. When did you start painting for tournaments?
Actually, the first tournament I did was 1993, the U.S. Open at Baltusrol, New Jersey.
Now, how does one become the official artist of a?
Well, I did a few paintings of the course in past years, and I did one of the paintings that you saw up there, and the club really enjoyed it and thought that doing the print of it during the Open would be successful.
They were right.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Other sports that you do, or that you've painted?
I've done a few baseball portraits, but
Broken bat base hit by Ray Langford, his second hit of the game.
But mainly golf.
You know, I was noticing most of the golf pictures was of the fairways, and it's nice to be able to see those. Normally, I don't ever get a chance to look at a fairway. You know, and now I know what they look like. They're kind of beautiful, real short grass.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of could see a little bit on the edge over there in the trees where normally I like to stay, but the fairway shot was okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, do you do streams and hunting pictures as well?
Yeah, I used to. I just returned from Alaska. I was commissioned to do a painting of a fishing lodge southwest of Anchorage.
Now, you like hunting and fishing a lot. And,
I love it.
You know, one of your hobbies. Is it easy to combine two hobbies, the painting and the fishing and stuff together? Is that what you would prefer to do? Is that the most fun thing for you as far as your painting?
Yeah, I like combining the two. Same thing with golf. I love to play golf, and I get to do my paintings and enjoy the sport.
So it's very natural for
Right.
you then to do those two things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Yeah, a lot of fun.
4-0 St. Louis. Count 1 ball and no strikes on Ron Gant, which is outside 2-0. Now, Bob said two hobbies, but is painting a hobby for you, or is that how you make your living?
Well, I make my living in that, and I also teach art up in Shingle House, Pennsylvania, Oswego Valley School District.
Are you going to be painting any pictures from this last fishing trip you went up to Alaska, did you say?
Right.
You're going to have some pictures from that?
Right. The owner of the fishing lodge commissioned me to come up and do a painting of
Well,
the
now
stream and that.
As far as you take photographs
Right.
and paint from the photographs?
Right.
Yeah, that's-
And I got a week's fishing in on top of it.
No, that's a pretty good deal then to work those two
Right.
things in. So actually the commission of the fishing lodge kind of came first, and then you went up and to take the pictures and get the fishing in.
Yeah, we were fly fishing for rainbows to catch and release.
Yeah.
They were just huge rainbows.
So are you going to have some pictures of that too besides the lodge? Some pictures maybe?
Well,
of
I'm going to have
fishing?
the owner out in the stream fishing.
Oh, okay.
there
So that way you
catching
can
a
get a
fish.
return engagement of having the owner out there.
Well, I took my father there last year and made contacts there, and was able to return this year.
Runner going 2-1 pitch followed back. You're politicking for one of these pictures, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I wish I could paint. That's
Well, Tommy
Just
Sand.
paint by number.
yeah.
Well, you know
yeah,
about Tommy Sand, our first base coach?
Yeah, he's a famous paint by number artist.
He's done what? How many? 2 works so far?
Yes, two. Well, no, 3 now.
Three?
3 paint by number works. And
We're serious, Jerry, by the way.
And one of them,
Jesse, excuse me.
One of them he sold for, I think, what was it, $22 or something like that?
I got $200 in my golf tournament when I auctioned it off last year. Seriously?
That's right.
Of course, we had pirate autographs on the other side of it.
That's what.
But so we knew that in case the picture didn't get everybody excited, the autographs might.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's that's how he spends much of his free time on the road, just paint by numbers. 2-2, 3-2, 1 man on and 2 outs. Ron Gant, the batter, 4-0 St. Louis. Now, all the fishing that you've done.
Well, here comes the question.
Here comes the question now. Most of Pirate territory knows that Bob Walk maintains that to be a good fisherman, you have to hold your mouth right.
Have you ever heard that saying
I've
before?
definitely heard that.
Okay, I'm not saying you have to hold your mouth, but it is a saying that Lanny had never heard of before and thought that I was pulling his leg.
It is true, Jesse.
Oh yeah. It's an
But
old thing.
But he won't tell me or show me how.
No,
It's an individual thing.
well, and I explained to you too. The weather comes into play, the species of fish you're going for, all that comes into play of how you hold your mouth. I mean, there's not one way. You wouldn't obviously hold your
The
mouth
weather,
the same way.
species of fish.
Let's say let's say you're going for walleye. You wouldn't hold your mouth the same way you would be fishing for tarpon down in the flats of Florida, right, Jesse? You wouldn't do that.
Jerry,
Exactly.
Jesse, is this a fish story?
No,
This
it's
is the truth.
The truth.
2 on and 2 outs. 4-0 Cardinals in the 4th inning. And Brian Jordan, the batter. Foul ball off to the right. Are you a? Hope the answer to this question is yes. Are you a big Pirates fan?
Yes, I am.
Good.
But I moved away. I originally from Penn Hill, graduated in 1972, and I've been up in Shingle House for the past 17 years.
All right.
And I just got KBL on our little dish, so Been the first time I've been able to watch some Pirates in quite a long time.
Well, we hope that you'll be watching our broadcast a good bit. We've certainly enjoyed having you with us. And I had the opportunity to meet your family before the game. Your wife's a librarian.
Right. That's the same school.
Two sons. Your sons' names are?
Jesse and Nathan. And I'd like to wish my youngest son, Nathan, happy birthday. Today's his birthday. He's here at the game enjoying it.
Well, we're pleased that he
here.
Celebrated his birthday with us here at Three Rivers today.
He's real excited.
Well, good luck with the paintings, and we appreciate you making the trip down to be with us.
Oh, happy to.
Ground ball, base hit down the line, the ball deep into the corner.
We're not having...
We must not be holding our mouths right.
No,
the Cardinals
that's the
have
problem
a
right here.
lead. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you, Jesse. You know, you'll have to come down and see us in Bradenton. We'll do some saltwater fishing. You can paint a picture of beautiful McKechnie Field. So come down and, see some spring training with us.
All right. Love to.
Here's the Brian Jordan base hit. Jordan's second hit of the game, and he picks up 2 RBIs. Jim Leland's going out. That shot up the third base line by Jordan, and he accelerated quickly into second base as Langford scored easily. And then Ron Gant came around. Gant had reached base because of a base on balls. And that'll be all for Zane Smith. Zane knocked out in the top of the 4th inning. St. Louis 6, the Pirates nothing. We'll have more on Prime Sports in a moment. Morel is Ramon Morel, the new Pirate pitcher, in the top of the 4th inning. Zane Smith works 3 2/3 innings. Gives up 8 hits, charged with 6 runs, still responsible for Brian Jordan at second base. Gaetti will be the next hitter, followed by Mabry. Well, Zane got the 2 outs very quickly in the 3rd, and then gave up 4 consecutive hits last inning, leading to 3 Cardinal runs. 2 quick outs here in the 4th inning for Smith, and the base hit by Langford. Gamb walked, and Jordan with a 2-run double.
And Lanny, I think that 3rd inning was a key inning tonight. As far as Zane, he had the 2 strikeouts. He made some good pitches on Gant down in the strike zone. The same thing with Langford, and then things just got away from him. And Zane, after the last couple starts, he needed a good one tonight. He was close, but both times 2 quick outs, and then it got away.
Runner at second base, Jordan. Boy, not good news for the Pirates, who were hoping to have a say in the National League Central Division race. And realizing that now that this was a period, this 21-game period against National League Central Division foes,
you could go one way or the other. And Pirates are starting to move the opposite direction. It wasn't that long ago, only
the Sunday night in Miami, we were a game and a half out.
And they need to turn it around quickly.
So in the span of just over a week and a half, a drop of 5.5 games in the race, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Starting pitching is going to be so crucial this second half. Zane is going to have to figure out, what is different between now and really the first couple months of the season when he was being so successful. That's going to be a big key. Paul Wagner's health is going to be another key, and then to find a steady 5th starter. Woo.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and the question that I would have to believe is staring Cam Bonifay in the face. Would you make a deal? Would you trade a frontline player to pick up a pitcher? And you'd have to assume that that's a borderline pitcher, considering budget.
Somebody's going to trade him. He probably is going to be a borderline guy.
Foul ball off to the right now to play.
And we've talked about our offense before in the vein that it's okay, but it's not really an offense that's going to have very explosive and score a lot of runs. And And so are you going to give up a piece of what we got for pitching? And that is a tough decision. Because right now, for the offense to go well, it has to hit on all cylinders. Everybody in that lineup has to contribute. So do you trade one of those cylinders away? I don't know the answer.
No,
Manny,
nor
really
do
don't.
I. But these are
But there's a lot of questions.
certainly the appropriate questions coming up. And maybe the Bucks wouldn't have been waiting this long to ask the questions were it not for the structure of the National League Central Division. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, left side, base hit by Gaetti. And Jordan scores. 7-0 St. Louis. 7 runs charged to Zane Smith.
St. Louis's offense is just struck early and often. These 2 series we've played. Here it is. Top of the 4th inning. And they have 9 base hits already.
And the difference for St. Louis from the Redbird team that was struggling earlier in the year, they got Mike Morgan back. Andy Bennis has turned things around after a 7-game losing streak. Stottlemyre, who's pitching for St. Louis tonight, hoping to win his 8th of the year.
Same thing we were talking about, starting pitching.
Ground ball, Mark Johnson makes the unassisted play, but the Cardinals score 3 more. In the middle of the 4th on Prime Sports. St. Louis 7, the Pirates nothing. 7-0 St. Louis after 3.5 innings. Let us go now to Jake Kloger. Jake, where are you?
Thanks, Lanny. I'm out here in the stands with probably the man who every night in the stadium is the most popular person in Three Rivers Stadium, Carl Truss, who works the fan cam, which you can see up on the Jumbotron. Now, Carl, how do you figure out which people you're going to show on the camera?
Well, we look for people who are excited, who are having a good time, and are into the game, and showing a lot of interest in the ball club and the players, and then getting caught up in the excitement of things.
Now, what's the craziest thing anyone's ever done to get on that camera?
Well, I don't think I can really talk about it. But one of the most exciting times I had was during the 92 Division Championship when this place was packed. It was filled to capacity. And I was shooting this woman who had every Pirate souvenir that you could think of. Her arms were full of popcorn. She had Coke in one hand, banners in the other hand. And I put the camera on her. She started screaming like crazy, man.
All right, thanks very much, Carl Truss. Lanny, back to you.
Wait a minute, Jake. You mean Carl's not going to put you on the big scoreboard?
Well, Carl, do you think
I figured that was
scoreboard?
I figured that was the whole gist of the interview.
Well, you know, I wanted to get on, but he didn't know if he could get me on or not.
Jake, you had to do something crazy to get on. Tom Pagnozzi wants this fastball inside. Stottlemyre right there.
So working with us is not crazy enough to get on the scoreboard. Apparently not.
How come, we haven't been on the scoreboard either?
Well, that's for good reason. George Holmes of Aliquippa, our Giant Eagle contestant in the 4th inning. Mark Johnson doubled in the 2nd. Earlier in the game, we saw Larry Vanover, the home plate umpire, talking to Chip Ganassi. And we asked Jake to check it out. Apparently, Chip was giving a running commentary on Larry's Vanover work, and I think Larry wanted to go back and compare notes with Chip. I think that was the gist of what that was all about. Johnson strikes out, 1 away.
Well, I don't think Chip is in that same seat anymore.
You think he was ejected?
I don't think he was ejected. I don't see him. He was sitting back there next to Kevin, wasn't he?
He was, and next to his wife, Kara.
Gil seems to think that Chip was tossed out.
Well, I got to find out officially so I can make a 4x6 card on it. Dave Clark, the batter. One loss, 10 long. Our best wishes to good friend Bunny Panapinto, who's celebrating a birthday today. Bunny is the daughter of former Pirate president, the late Carl Barger. Our good friend Ken Wonderly who covers the Pirates for Washington and Johnstown's papers, celebrates a birthday on the 5th of July. Backhanded play by David Bell, and David Clark is out number 2. Good play by Bell. 2 outs, 4th inning, 7-0 Cardinals.
Good play by Bell right here. Jumped in the air and threw it. But I'll tell you what, some pretty good pitching right now by Stottlemyre too. He's throwing a lot of fastballs, but he's able to move them in and out, in and out. Everywhere Pagnozzi goes, the fastball follows him, and that's how you get those ground balls so the infielders can make those great plays.
Jay Bell with a swing and a miss. Today's birthday, or today's date, is also the birth date of former Pirate clubhouse manager John Hallahan. And I'll tell you, one of the more prouder moments for me in the organization was the ball club coming back from Philadelphia after the untimely death of John Hallahan several years back. Jay Bell with a fly ball caught by center fielder Langford at the end of 4 innings. St. Louis 7, the Pirates nothing. This is Prime Sports. Ready for the top of the 5th inning. This date in baseball history brought to you by Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealer near you. July 5th, 1971. Our broadcast partner Steve Blass won his 10th game of the season. Also drove in 2 runs with a single. And the Pirates beat the Chicago Cubs on this date 25 years ago. The Flaming Dutchman winning number 10 on this date in 71.
The original.
The original Flaming Dutchman. Fly ball, right center field. Martin and Merced come together. Tom Pagnozzi flies out. Speaking of Steve, I think Jake is going to see if he can run down Steve's dad.
Well, Steve's the original Dutchman. What's Steve's dad?
I don't know, but Steve told us in St. Louis that he was the original Flaming Dutchman.
Yep.
Stephen Vernon Blass. There's the 0-1 pitch. Nothing in 2, 5th inning. Buccos trailing as Zane Smith was charged with 7 runs in 3 2/3 innings. Danny Darwin pitches tomorrow night against the St. Louis Cardinals. Darwin has the 5th best ERA in the league. Danny's brother, by the way, Jeff, has been called up to the big leagues by the Chicago White Sox. Danny told me earlier today that, well, he'd love to have the opportunity to have his brother in the National League and be in a series against him.
I think he would love to have his brother on this team right here and play with him. He was talking about that. I played golf with him in Colorado, and he said it would mean a lot for him to be a teammate with his brother before he retired. He knows that at 40 years old, it's inevitable that someday he's going to have to hang it up, and he said that would be a lot of fun. Is his brother a starter?
Foul ball out of play. No, not recently he's not been. All of 93, 94, and 95 pitching out of the bullpen in the Seattle organization. Traded to the White Sox for Warren Newsom. Stottlemyre grounds out. Ramon Morel sets down the Cardinals in order. We'll step down to the bottom of the 5th inning on Prime Sports. The Cardinals 7, Jim Leyland's Pirates nothing. Bottom of the 5th inning, work to be done. The Pirates trailing 7-0 after St. Louis won yesterday 7-1 behind Andy Bennis. Bucks and Cardinals tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow's game at 7:05. Forbes Field Memories Night, sponsored by Cameron Coca-Cola. The first 10,000 fans, 15 and over, will receive a Forbes Field collectible. On Sunday, we'll start at 1:35. The first 10,000 fans, 14 and under, will receive a special Major League Baseball for Kids magazine. And Monday, we'll get together at St. Clair Country Club for the Parent and Child Guidance Center Golf Tournament. Call the Pirates for your tickets to Pirate games, 321-BUCKS or 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. As Kendall leads off, no doubt you've noticed from the shot of our center field camera that apparently Chip Ganassi did not get thrown out of the game because he is back in his seat behind home plate. Good backhanded play by Clayton. High throw, but Mabry, after going up to get the ball, came down on the base before Kendall got his foot to the base. 1 out. Mike Kingery will bat for Ramon Morel.
Like John Lieber down in the bullpen, getting ready to come in and pitch the 6th.
Ramon Morel works an inning and a third, retiring 4 of 5 batters. Fly ball to left field. There are 2 outs. A few moments ago I was talking about John Hallahan, for many years the equipment manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And after John's death, the Pirates were in Philadelphia, and the team arranged for a charter airplane to bring the ball club back from Philadelphia early the morning of John Hallahan's funeral.
Dawn flight out of Philadelphia.
And then right back to Philadelphia to play that game that night.
John, very well loved by the players. You did not hear a single complaint about having to get up at the crack of dawn and fly to the other side of the state and then fly back. I mean, that whole team probably would have paid their own way if necessary to get back in time.
1 ball and 1 strike on Nelson Liriano. There is a plaque outside the Pirate clubhouse that remembers the work of John Hallahan on behalf of the Pirates. And the 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Officially, it is the John Hallahan clubhouse. In baseball, it's not a locker room, it's a clubhouse. The guy that runs the team is not a coach. He's not the head coach. He's the manager.
And don't call the manager coach under any circumstances. That's the first thing you learn when you get into professional baseball. There you see John Lieber in high school and college. And okay, coach. Yes, coach. Coach this, coach that. Don't do that to the manager.
Call him skipper, I guess.
As soon as you get to A ball, that's the first thing you learn. Is you call him skipper, you call him, you know, a lot of them just want you to call him by the first name.
Liriano grounds out. We've played 5 on Prime Sports. It's all Redbirds. St. Louis 7, the Pirates nothing.
Back at Three Rivers, you can see it's the top of the 6th inning. News is not good. St. Louis leading us 7-0. John Lieber has come in to see if he can hold the fort. Offense needs to get rolling against Mr. Stottlemyre and do some damage. Normally at this time of the ball game, Greg Brown would be sitting down alongside of me, but because Greg took so long to get down from upstairs. Oh, here he is. He's just now stepping in.
Are you on? Oh my God!
Yes, we are on, Greg.
It's not easy. I mean, running down 4 flights of a big stadium, Bob.
Here, water.
Please. Whew. Thank you. It's not water, it's vinegar. What are you drinking vinegar for? It's horrible.
Well, maybe you coming down here, we can get this offense going and get some crooked numbers on the board. Get back in the ball game.
Well, look at this. I just get down here, 1 pitch and a base hit for Royce Clayton. Leadoff single against John Lieber, the 3rd pitcher to work tonight for Pittsburgh after Ramon Morel went 1 1/3. Leadoff single for Clayton. And see what the Cardinals do. They have been running against the Pirates. They swept the Bucks last weekend, 3 straight. They won last night 7-1, and they have been using their speed for the most part and some power. This is fouled back.
Well, it's still pretty early in the ball game, just the 6th inning. It wouldn't surprise me that you would keep running right now. That Still 4 innings to play, so 7 runs is not insurmountable. There's no reason to stop running because of the score yet.
0-1 the count to Lieber.
The way Todd Stottlemyre is throwing right now, though, it doesn't really appear that 7-run lead is any danger.
He's gone, what now, against the Pirates in his last 2 starts? 11 innings, giving up 1 run on 7 hits. 1-1. Fly to left center field. Al Martin going over, and the left fielder Clark is going to make the catch in left center. So 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Clayton remains at first, and now Lieber will face Ron Gant, who walked twice against Zane Smith, and Singleton scored.
You know what? I thought when Zane struck out Gant in that 3rd inning, it looked to me like Zane had got himself back to where he was the first couple months of the season. He really made some nice pitches, both to Langford and Gant that inning.
And there's a drive to left field. Clark going over, and Clark is there at those warning tracks to make the catch.
I think that ball was hit off the end of Gant's bat. Didn't get it on the sweet spot, and it got up in the air and died. Yeah, he knows right away that that's an out.
Two outs. Here is Brian Jordan. By the way, Ozzie Smith, we understand, will be Stan Savern's post-game guest on Talkin' Bucks, so you want to stick around for that interview and a chance to talk to the Wizard of Oz, who has announced he'll retire after this year. He'll be Stan Savern's guest on Talkin' Bucks coming up after this one on Prime. And we believe that Ozzie Smith will start tomorrow night's game. 3rd of the 4-game set. Brian Jordan has hit safely in 8 straight games. He's been on base 3 times tonight. An intentional walk, a base hit, a stolen base, a double, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. And he was 2 for 4 with 4 ribbies last night and a home run. He is hot. Bob Walk got a chance to talk to him on the radio side. Brian Jordan, look at this. Now that is a picture, huh? There's Gil Lucas, the executive producer of Pirates Baseball on Prime Sports, with the Pirate Parrot. Gil often dons the costume.
Normally that's Gil inside there.
Gil taking the night off.
Yeah.
We appreciate the Parrot allowing him to do that. If you're at the ballpark, make sure when you see the Parrot, you can say, "Hey, Parrot," or "Hey, Gil." Either one. 1-2 pitch. He got him looking. Back to the leadoff single. Good work from John Lieber. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 7-0 Redbirds on Prime. Bucks have a lot of work to do. Let's go down to Jake Ploger now.
Thanks very much, Greg. I'm here with Pirate broadcaster Steve Blass' father, who was in town taking in the game today. And Mr. Blass, talk a little bit about Steve's career and what your most memorable moment in his career might have been.
Well, when you talked to me, I was sitting probably over there in that 3rd game, and when the game got over, I took off. I think I had about 7 beers sitting under my seat that I never finished. I went across that top of that dugout, dodging about. I looked probably like a sailor going across there. Everybody screaming, "Jump off, jump off," and then finally Steve recognized me and saved my life probably. Then I get down there, and Tony Kubek is trying to talk to Steve and trying to talk to me. And finally Steve nudged me and said, "Dad," I'm talking to the groundkeepers, because I'd never done this kind of stuff. But he did everything that I always wanted to be, and he's my hero. And he loves Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh, and I think Pittsburgh loves him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course, Mr. Blass was referring to the complete game win that Steve got in Game 3 of the World Series when the Pirates won it. Thank you very much, Mr. Blass. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the game. Greg, back to you.
Jake, thank you. I know Mr. Blass loves beating his son in golf these days, too. I saw it firsthand. Mr. B is in town. Steve upstairs doing the radio stuff as Jeff King swings and misses. There's Steve. All right. When he sees the monitor, he'll wave when we get a chance. 1-1. Jeff King at the plate. 2-1. Count to King. Todd Stottlemyre is rolling along here. He has set down 8 in a row. He's allowed just 3 hits. Three balls, 1 strike to King.
Yeah, he was rolling along in St. Louis with a big lead last time that we faced him, and he only went 6 innings.
Right side and through, a base hit. 1 out single for King. He's on base for the 2nd time tonight.
Tony La Russa going with the hook, getting him out of there, getting him some rest. I wonder if he'll get an opportunity to pitch a complete game tonight. Jeff King is just having a fantastic year, isn't he?
Oh. 20 homers, 62 runs batted in.
First guy since Willie Stargell to have, for first Pirate since Willie Stargell to have 20 home runs at the All-Star break.
Stargell did it in 73. Elmer said, drive foul and headed out of play into the bullpen. And up into a runway.
Now, anytime from this point of the ball game on, anytime the Pirates get anybody on base, very important to score that inning. You can't have any more guys left stranded, even though there's already 1 out. Jeff King being on, you got to figure out a way to get him in. Got to break the ice.
You only have 4 more, well, less than 4 more shots. Speaking of innings, bottom of the 6th, and of course, even if you get close, you have Dennis Eckersley waiting in that 9th. He has not been unhittable, but still one of the best, as this is foul tipped. 1-2. Todd Stottlemyre.
Three means slider. There it is. That slider struck out Orlando Merced last time up, swung right over the top of it in a similar spot, down and in. We'll go back in there, this time with a fastball. Stottlemyre has had very good control of throwing that fastball in and out tonight. That ball right there, he put probably right exactly where he wanted it. Just didn't get Orlando to swing. 3-2 count, 7-0 lead. You're going to go to breaking ball.
A drive to right field. Well hit. Look at this ball. Out of here. The Big O with a long ball. A 2-run blast. And the Bucks are on the board as Merced hits his 12th home run of the year. It's 7-2.
Now, how about that? Stottlemyre goes with the breaking ball on a 3-2 count. Up 7-0. And Orlando hits it out of the ballpark. There you see the 3 put down. Now that breaking ball right down the middle, kind of a hanger, but when you throw it on a 3-2 count, you have to try and throw it for a strike.
Orlando Merced's home run. Again, his 12th of the season, 17th allowed by Stottlemyre. And there's a drive. Oh, the hammer! Look at this towering drive out of here. Back-to-back jack for the Bucks. And it's 7-3. Mark Johnson's 6th home run of the year. A towering home run to right off Stottlemyre.
Fireworks left over from yesterday go off as Mark Johnson. That ball was as high as those fireworks. Whoa, had a double back in the 2nd inning and now adds a home run here in the 6th. Duncan, the pitching coach, out to talk to Todd. Boy, lightning quickly happening here. Whoa, he got ahead of Orlando. Made a couple good pitches on him. Orlando didn't bite and hung a breaking ball, and One pitch later, and another ball goes out of the ballpark. 3 quick runs. Boom. Fastball down the middle. You can see how high that ball is traveling. That ball up around the top of the stadium.
Very close to hitting up, not an upper deck, but certainly that third deck at the ballpark. Dave Clark takes a strike. Back-to-back dingers, and finally the crowd, really the last 2 games against the Cardinals, crowd has not had a whole lot to cheer about, but a little bit of a wake-up call. Oh, this one, Dave Clark going to be robbed because of the mound. Clayton, great range, but that ball really slowed down once it hit the pitcher's mound.
Now, Dave is very good at hitting the ball back through the middle, and most shortstops cheat him up that way. There you see the big bounce off that slope, and Clayton standing behind second base just waiting for it to come to him.
Bell takes ball 1. Infield single and a fly ball to left center. Oh, good fastball, 1-1.
Stottlemyre, besides being able to spot that fastball in and out, he throws very hard. He's got excellent velocity.
One and 2. We estimate the Merced homer at 376 feet, the Johnson homer 396 feet. Two and 2. Bell doesn't offer this time. So 3 runs home in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now at least the Cardinals are in sight. Popped out of play. Bob said it. You get a man on, as King did. He singled to right field with 1 out in this 6th inning. You got to find a way to get him home. Well, the Pirates did that. 7-0. You got to score when you get somebody on late. It's late in the ball game, second half of the ball game. Can't strand any more runners. 3 and 2. No action in that Cardinal bullpen either, by the way. Imagine if you see ball 4 right now, somebody's got to get up and start tossing, though. Payoff pitch. He got him swinging. Bell frustrated, strikes out. But Orlando Merced, with his 12th home run of the season, Mark Johnson hitting his 6th. It's 7-3. Jerry Gaetti leads off, 7th inning, 2 for 2, and 3 runs batted in. He chops this one foul. John Lieber, his 2nd inning of relief. Gaetti a sacrifice fly in the 1st, a single to drive in the 2nd run in the 3rd inning, and an RBI base hit against Ramon Morel in the 4th. Left side, Jay Bell to his left and throwing on to 1st. Oh, a little wide throw, but Johnson able to make the stretch. Jake Kloger, who are you with? What company are you keeping these days?
Well, Greg, I am with my buddies Larry, Moe, and Curly here. No, seriously, what are you guys' names? Dave?
My name's Primetime, Jason.
And why would you guys be dressed in these costumes like that?
Dressing these costumes? What do you, that's an insult.
These are everyday garb for us.
It's everyday wear. I can go to work with this.
All right, well, Greg, I think we have a couple of lobbyists for disco night at Three Rivers.
John Lieber. Thanks, Jake. Good luck. John Lieber delivers a strike to John Mabry. And a bad-looking swing, 0-2. Bad-looking swing, but a good-looking young player here. They're raving about Mabry, not just in that Cardinals dugout, but everywhere. Chopper deflected to 2nd, on to 1st, and John Lieber gets 2 outs in the 7th.
Tomorrow on Prime Sports KBL at 7 p.m., tune in for Motorsports Hour by Chevrolet, the SCCA Trans Am Medic Drug Grand Prix of Cleveland. And then at 8 p.m., stay tuned for the prime race of the week, the Hooters Cup from Lakeland, Florida. And at 10, catch the latest scores and highlights on Press Box. Tonight featuring coverage from the Women's Wimbledon Final and the latest from the LPGA Tour.
0-1 the count to Pagnazzi.
I get the VCR going and
Yeah.
get that motorsports hour for myself.
Oh, you don't like that stuff, do you?
Nah.
0-2 the count to Pagnazzi. Tony La Russa, his club leading 7-3. They have done a great job, have the Cardinals against National League Central Division opponents. The Cardinals are 14-5 against the division. The Bucks are 8-11. You're going to win the division, you got to beat the teams in your division. Swing and a miss. Pagnazzi goes down. Good work from Lieber. 1, 2, 3, and out. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Ladbroke. Racing's only half the fun. 7-3 on Prime. Pirates baseball on Prime Sports is brought to you by Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealer near you. By Pep Boys. Everything but gas. By Fram Oil Filters. And by Odor Eaters. Now with Arm & Hammer baking soda. 7-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bucks trailing the St. Louis Cardinals. Jason Kendall will lead off against Todd Stottlemyre. Kendall has grounded out twice. Once a nice play by shortstop Royce Clayton, who has shown great range, well, this season and really in his career, but in particular tonight, seeing him range far to his left. He's been cheating over towards second, but he does have the great range. This is fouled straight back, 1-1.
He made a great play tonight on Liriano. He made an error on the play, but getting to that ball and bouncing up to throw to first base, I thought it was excellent the way he got back to his feet so quickly. I don't know if you remember that play or not.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Made a nice play on the J. Bell infield hit in the second. But that play he made in the second inning on Jason Kendall to rob him of a hit. Chopper foul. 1-2 to Jason Kendall. He and Keith Osick earlier posed for the cover of the upcoming new program that is sold here at Three Rivers Stadium, and it's been a great duo. One ball, 2 strikes. We're talking about family ties in this game. This has bounced all the way back. You've got Jason Kendall, whose father, Fred, played for the San Diego Padres and is manager of the Detroit Tigers. Fred Kendall is the bullpen coach of the Detroit Tigers. The manager is Buddy Bell, whose son, David, starts at second base tonight for St. Louis. Todd Stottlemyre, his father, of course, Mel, longtime pitcher, and this year pitching coach for the New York Yankees. Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Alan Bennis, his brother Andy, won last night's game as the Cardinals beat the Bucks 7-1. We'll see Alan pitch tomorrow night. 3-2 now the count to Jason Kendall.
A lot of family connections out on the field tonight. First base umpire Jerry Crawford, his father a former umpire.
And Stottlemyre gets the strikeout. Jason Kendall. And Shag Crawford, longtime umpire.
That slider, that one there, not much lateral movement to it at all. That ball just went in and dove straight down.
John Wayner going to pinch hit for John Lieber. Bucks are down 7-3. And Larry Vanover with a strike call. One ball, 1 strike now to John Wayner.
It looks to me like Stottlemyre can throw 2 different sliders. There's one that you could actually see a lot of sideways movement to it, but this inning almost all of his breaking pitches have gone up there and gone straight down.
2-1 the count to the pinch hitter Wainer. 2-2 on the strike call.
Stottlemyre, very unusual the way he takes the sign there. You see the 3 put down. He'll be throwing another slider.
Oh, got him looking.
He dropped down a little bit, tried to flatten that slider out. Froze Wainer with it. Didn't come straight over the top. Actually, a little 3/4 with the pitch. Started it inside, and it just came back enough to catch the inside corner. You saw the hips of John kind of start backing out of there. He thought that pitch was coming inside. As soon as those hips start to bail out, you're done. Then the only swing you can have then is what the hitters refer to the emergency hack. You just try to foul the ball off.
Tony La Russa studies the lineup card. Nelson Liriano is 1 for 3 against Stottlemyre, who has struck out 3 in a row.
Rick settled down since the back-to-back home runs.
Dave Duncan went to the mound right after the Johnson homer.
You got the ground ball from Dave Clark. The plate made the nice play up the middle, and then 3 straight strikeouts since then.
2-1 to Liriano.
Watch the way Stottlemyre takes the sign from the. He's got his left foot out in front of the rubber, which technically is not the correct way to take the sign when you're going to pitch from a windup. If you have that foot in front of the rubber, you're supposed to come to the set position. If you take a sign, see how he's got his left foot is actually in front of the rubber.
Out of play.
But that rule not really enforced very often. Rick Russell used to stand like that, kind of caddy corner to home plate an awful lot. That's where I actually learned about that. An umpire had told me about Russell doing it, but Rick had been doing it at that point for about 12 years, and he said, we're not about to change him now.
So, is that right?
Yeah.
Second walk allowed by Stottlemyre.
See La Russa looking out the Pagnozzi, wiggling his hand, making that go talk to him motion. This is just to buy a little time. La Russa wants Pagnozzi to go out and stall. Is that Honeycutt? Honeycutt looks like he's ready. Now La Russa is going to go out, and he's going to make a double switch as he goes to Vanover first.
The last out was made by Pagnozzi.
Let's see who he's going to bring off the field. It's going to be Mabry.
John Mabry, batting 6th, preceded Pagnozzi, and here comes the veteran Honeycutt. And La Russa will make this 2-for-1 switch, and we'll be back from Three Rivers Stadium. Cardinals 7, Pirates 3 on Prime. 7-3 Cardinals lead. Rick Honeycutt, the new pitcher. Let us tell you that the Pirates will be out at the Giant Eagle stores tomorrow. Some appearances being made from noon until 1 at the Giant Eagle store at Kennedy Township location. Steve Blass will have his 2 bodyguards, first baseman Mark Johnson and former Bucko first baseman Bob Robertson. That's noon until 1 at Kennedy Township. At the North Huntington Giant Eagle store, Lanny Fratteri will join pitcher John Lieber and former Bucko right-hander Nellie Bryles. Also tomorrow from noon until 1, I'll be out with third baseman Charlie Hayes and former save man Elroy Face at the Edgewood Town Center Giant Eagle store from noon until 1. Elroy, the Baron of the bullpen, will be there along with Charlie Hayes. Bob Walk will be a second baseman Carlos Garcia and former Pirate right-hander Bob Friend. They will be at the Cranberry Mall location. Again, that's all from noon until 1 at those Giant Eagle stores, and hope to see you there tomorrow. Rick Honeycutt, the veteran, on to face Al Martin.
He's had a very solid year out of the bullpen for him. He made a lot of appearances. This is the 33rd time this year he's been out there. 2.81 ERA, and he's even picked up a couple of saves this year.
One of those saves against Pittsburgh. Honeycutt has pitched 4 innings against the Bucs this year and has not been scored on.
42-year-old left-hander. Last pitch Tuesday night against the Cincinnati Reds. And the Bucks want to keep it going here against this veteran. Here's Al Martin. Todd Stottlemyre, 6 2/3, gives up 3 runs and is still responsible for Liriano at first. 2 outs in the inning, 7-3 Redbirds. Good time for Martin to extend his hitting streak, which currently stands at 10 games. Honeycutt pitched 1 1/3 scoreless innings against Pittsburgh Saturday afternoon at Busch Stadium in the Cardinals' 6-5 win. He was the winning pitcher in that game. This is fouled out of play. Al Martin was really frustrated in his at-bat against Honeycutt in that game. Said he was a little over-anxious. Was swung at some bad pitches. Martin struck out in the 8th inning on Saturday with a man on. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. He said he gets so jacked up in the late innings. He's got to learn to be more patient in these situations, especially against a left-hander like Honeycutt. Runner at first base, 2 outs.
No, Al, he's so concerned about not falling behind and getting in a hole against a left-handed pitcher that sometimes he does get over-aggressive.
Chopper back to the mound. Honeycutt going to do the job again. A lob toss to first. The Bucks strand a runner after 7. Cardinals 7, Pirates 3 on Prime. 7-3 after 7 innings at Three River Stadium, and let's go once again to Jake Ploger.
Thank you, Greg. I'm standing here with the president of West Virginia Wesleyan College, Mr. William Hayden. Mr. Hayden, tell us a little bit about the school and what makes it such a great institution.
Well, it's located in Buchanan, West Virginia, which is just down Interstate 79. It's a small liberal arts college. We have a good baseball team. They made it to the NCAA tournament in Division II this year. We're very proud of them, and it's always nice to be here. I've been a Pirate fan since 1948.
Do you make it up from West Virginia very often to catch in a couple games?
Well, this is only my 2nd year as the president of the college, but I have been up before. I try to get here every summer, at least once.
Great, great. William Hayden, president of West Virginia Wesleyan. Greg, back to you.
Okay, Jake, and Mr. Hayden, thank you very much. Here's Luis Alicea, who came on to play second base in that 2-for-1 switch. You just saw David Bell double down the line against the new Pirate pitcher, Jason Christensen. Not a good start.
Now, so far, the bullpen has done a great job of holding things together to give us an opportunity to get back in this ball game. But now Jason has got his work cut out of that leadoff double. And once he gets by Alicea, then he's got that tough top of this Cardinal lineup to face.
Showing bunt and almost gets hit by the pitch. Alicea, 233 average, 4 homers, 27 runs batted in. Switch hitter bats from the right side. He and David Bell have shared second base duties for the Cardinals this year. Alicea, 286 average from the right side. 2 balls, no strikes.
The offense has not been Alicea's problem, but he has really had a hard time this year on the defensive side of things with 17 errors.
Again, we talked about that last night, that the Cardinals, David Bell has struggled offensively. There he goes to third. Kendall, double pump. His throw is going to be out, apparently, after Bell maybe hopped up. It looked as though he was safe. That throw was high.
Yeah, the original tag, I don't think got him. It looked like Bell popped up off the bag. You're right, Greg. Here, we'll get a look at it here from ground level. You see it right from the Cardinal dugout. Oh, I see what he tried to slide in the back door and never got back to the porch.
Caught stealing. 2-5.
He got caught out in the yard. Yeah, if he would have came straight to the bag, see, when he was running, he didn't realize that Kendall double pumped. He thought he was going to be out by a mile, so he was going to try that that trick backdoor slide to try to avoid the tag. He didn't have to do that, so he got himself out.
So LaRussa is now running. Looks again at the lineup card. Luis Alicea walks against Jason Christensen. Here's Royce Clayton. And look out for Alicea. He has stolen 5 in 7 tries. LaRussa has let the Birds out. Let them run. The 3 games last weekend and first 2 here. Langford, Gant, Pagnazzi, Jordan have all stolen against the Pirates tonight. Last night, Ray Langford had a couple of steals. Ball 1 to Royce Clayton. Christensen's 30th appearance of the season. 3-3, a 7.30 earned run average. And out of play. 1-1. Christensen had a scoreless inning of relief on Tuesday night against the Cubs. The Bucks are going to have a shot against the Cardinals. Christensen has got to hold them here. 1 ball, 1 strike, move to first, and again Johnson playing in front of the base runner. Alicea back. One ball, 1 strike. Another move. Again, the runner back. Cardinals got off to a 7-0 lead. Pirates got back-to-back homers from Merced and Johnson in the 6th to make it 7-3. Todd Stottlemyre's game to win. Zane Smith to lose. Another move, and again the runner is back.
All these pickoff throws being called by Jim Leyland out of the dugout. You see Jason Kendall right there. That was a shot of him looking in the dugout to get the sign from Leyland, whether he wants him to throw over again.
2-1. Now what will LaRussa do? Liable to see a few more throws over there. At least a step off maybe from Christensen as Clayton steps out and looks down at his third base coach, Tommy Reynolds.
Kendall looking in the dugout right now. Has his sign. Now he'll give a sign to Jason. Fastball outside.
2-2.
Got it up and outside. Clayton swung right through it.
Clayton's average at 280. Former Giants shortstop. Coming over in the offseason. There's the 2-2. Right side, one hopper. Liriano, nice turn to throw to get 1 to first. Not in time for the double play. Boy, there have been some close plays at first the last couple of games against the Cardinals. There's another one.
Well, that would have been a beautiful double play to be able to get somebody that runs as well as Clayton on a ground ball to the second baseman's left. See Liriano with the 360 spin and a perfect throw to Jay Bell. Alicea taking out Jay as he's got the good strong replay to Johnson, but Clayton just too fast to turn 2 on that ball.
Ray Langford, 2 hits and 4 at-bats. He has scored a couple of runs and stolen a base. There goes the runner. They got him picked off. Mark Johnson's throw hits the runner and goes into center field. So Clayton winds up at third base. An error on Mark Johnson.
You're going to see one problem here with this defensive alignment when you have Mark Johnson playing off the bag as he catches this pickoff throw. There you didn't see it. It already happened, but the throw you saw hit Clayton right in the back. But the throw from Christensen gets over to Johnson as he's backpedaling toward first base. So he has no momentum going to second to make that throw. Ideally, you want to be doing exactly the opposite. As you catch that throw from the pitcher, you want to be moving toward the pitcher's mound. Not only does that give you momentum going in that direction towards second base so you can make a strong throw, but it also gives you a good angle because then you're way inside the baseline and you don't have to throw through the runner. So that's a problem when you're trying to backpedal back toward first base. And here's the play right here. You see how he was moving back toward the bag as he caught that throw. See, now normally if you're playing on the bag and you see the guy break and the throw's coming to you, instead of having to back up to catch it, you're moving forward to catch it. Saves time, plus gives you a better angle.
1-2 the count. So the Pirates had him picked off, but as Bob Walk explained, a bad angle for the first baseman, Mark Johnson. He threw into the runner. Clayton gets his 18th steal of the year, moves to third, on the air charge to Johnson. And Christensen with good work to get a strikeout. And the out is recorded as Jason Kendall tagged Langford. Big strikeout there for Christensen. So the Bucs still have a shot. 7-3 on Prime. The Pirates still trail 7-3, but Christensen able to slam the door after the stolen base. The leadoff double, that was key. The caught stealing, of course, by Bell.
Yeah, this is key right here. This inning, you got the heart of the lineup coming up. Guys that have done some damage tonight. Merced, Johnson be hitting second and third this inning. And this may be their last opportunities tonight. Jeff King will lead it off. So you down 4 runs. You want to make a move right now. You got some of your better hitters up this inning. Take advantage of it.
Well, Rick Honeycutt, the left-hander, begins the inning. Right-hander T.J. Matthews is tossing in the bullpen. Honeycutt got Martin to bounce back to the box. La Russa has Matthews, Parrott, Pitkazik, and Eckersley available from the right side, and Tony Fossis, the other veteran left-hander. But right now it's Honeycutt against King. King 1 for 2. Left side, third base. Gaetti recovers. Rather, Bell recovers and throws on to Gaetti. David Bell had switched to third. Gaetti now playing first base. David Bell knocked the ball down, hit by King.
The ball bounces right back up to him. In fact, it just kind of leads him right to first base as he goes and gets that ball. If it would have been to the foul line side of him, he would have had no chance, but the ball bouncing off his body right toward first base. And so as he went to pick it up, it was just kind of let him there, just like he took a normal crow hop toward first and throw the ball.
Time's a-wasting for the Pirates, trailing 7-3. 5 more outs remain. Carol Washington of Belmont, Ohio, our Triangle home run hitters contestant. Orlando Merced, the home run, a 2-run blast in the 6th inning to get the Pirates on the board. 1-2. Said a few times that Tony La Russa does not lack experience in the bullpen. With Rick Honeycutt, 42 years old. Dennis Eckersley is 41. There's, again, third baseman David Bell. You got 34-year-old Jeff Parrott and 38-year-old Tony Fossis available. Fly to left. Gant. 2 outs.
Yeah, Rick Honeycutt been around a long time. He was the opposing pitcher my first game ever as a Pittsburgh Pirate.
No way.
Dale Berra and I think Jim Morrison hit home runs off of him that night.
He was pitching for the Dodgers, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Rick Honeycutt, who was picked by the Pirates originally in the 17th round in June of 1976. Dealt to the Seattle Mariners for pitcher Dave Pagan in August of 77. Later, the Mariners would trade him to the Rangers, a deal that involved Willie Horton and former Pirate shortstop Mario Mendoza. Also, that trade involved former Bucco outfielder Richie Zisk. As Texas and Seattle swapped a bunch of players and dealt to the Dodgers for Dave Stewart in August of 83. Went to the A's in late 87. Part of the Tim Belcher trade. 0-2, check swing, foul ball. Rick Honeycutt has been around. First year in the major leagues, 1977 with the Seattle Mariners. 4 seasons with Seattle. 3 years at Texas.
Didn't take long to get to the major leagues.
No. Second year of pro ball after being drafted by the Bucks.
They played a half season in Niagara Falls and on to the big leagues.
1-2. He has 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rick Honeycutt split time last year. Most of the time was with the Oakland A's and also a few games with the New York Yankees. 1-2 the count. And out of play. Danny Darwin, who starts tomorrow night for the Pirates, said one of the reasons he likes playing the St. Louis Cardinals is because they've got more guys that are older on the other bench.
All of his peers are sitting across the way. Mark Johnson, nice job hanging in here against a tough left-handed pitcher. Mark doesn't get a chance to see very many lefties. Pinch hitting and just getting a few starts against right-handers.
And checking his swing, 2-2. This is a good battle for Johnson. Mark Johnson, 2 for 3. He's making things interesting right now because he keeps hitting. He's a tough guy to keep out of the lineup anymore. 3-2.
Breaking ball that didn't do much. Of course, it looked like Honeycutt started that about a foot behind Mark Johnson, and luckily it broke as far as it did. And let's throw another slider.
Johnson, a drive to center field. Langford going back, looking up, and it is gone to straightaway center field. Mark Johnson, his second homer of the night. It's a 7-4 game. How about the hammer?
That's the second 3-2 slider we've seen hit out of the ballpark tonight. Johnson, 3-2 breaking ball from a left-handed pitcher. Stayed right on it. Didn't try to pull the ball. He didn't have to. This is a beautiful example of the kind of power that Mark Johnson has. There you see the 3. The breaking ball is coming, and the breaking ball is going.
Oh, man.
That ball is launched.
I'll tell you, he is impressive to watch. Look at that. Dead center field, about 3 rows up. Now Dave Clark, 7-4 game. Mark the Hammer Johnson putting on a show. 3 for 4 tonight with a pair of homers. One ball and 1 strike to Dave Clark.
You know, the home run was impressive, but how about the hole at bat before he hit the ball out of the ballpark?
Even if he gets on, any way he gets on would have been impressive.
Took some tough pitches, fouled off some tough pitches.
That is a battle right there, what we just saw. And then to have him come out on top with a homer. Now it's 1-2.
And Honeycutt didn't give in to him, just lay a fastball in there either. He came with that breaking ball, even though he had 3 balls on him. But to Mark's credit, he did not pull off, just tried to hit the ball back through the middle. Dead center field.
And Honeycutt strikes out Dave Clark. So the Pirates will have one more shot. Right now they're trailing by 3, going to the 9th inning. 7-4 on Prime.
Jason Christensen facing Ron Gant, who pops the first pitch up in foul territory, and Mark Johnson makes the catch. So Jim Leyland sticking with his left-hander against three tough right-hand hitters in Gant, Jordan, and Gaetti. And we're waiting now for Jordan.
Jordan wasn't prepared for Gant to make an out so quickly.
Right fielder Brian Jordan.
He hadn't even come out of the on-deck circle yet.
Pirates have used Zane Smith, Ramon Morel, and John Lieber, and now Jason Christensen. And we still aren't certain who will start on Sunday. High for a ball to Jordan. Tomorrow night, Danny Darwin against Alan Venice. 7:05 first pitch start. Hope to see you at the ballpark tomorrow night and or Sunday afternoon. Kids Magazine's given away on Sunday to the kids. Pitch inside, 2-0. In the bottom of the ninth, the Pirates will have due-up Jay Bell, Jason Kendall, and a pinch hitter. And Eck begins warming in the bullpen for LaRussa's Cardinals. There's a swing. Didn't want to, but it's 2-1.
The Eck not really overpowering anymore. Still has the good control and move the ball in and out. Keeps it down.
Close, but a bit low. 3-1. Three and two now. Brian Jordan, one out of the ninth inning. Zane Smith started. Jim Leyland and Ray Miller have to be disappointed because now in Smith's last three starts, including tonight, as Christensen strikes out Jordan.
Yeah, Jason thrown a fastball by some right-handed hitters tonight.
Dave Duncan, pitching coach, checking with the bullpen.
Make sure the Ekman is ready.
Yeah, no wonder Brian Jordan took some extra time getting to the batter's box after Gant popped the first pitch up.
Could have been told to
lose your bat, find, you know, go into that bat rack and get a special one.
Yeah, give him some time to warm up down there.
2 outs. Two 2-0 to Gaetti. Going back to Zane Smith's numbers, not good. His last 3 starts, 9 innings of work. He's given up 20 earned runs. So has to be a lot of concern. And Zane Smith not able to make it past the 5th inning in each of his last 4 starts. But that's behind the Pirates now. They've got to concentrate on Gaetti and then getting to Eckersley. Strike is called, 2-1. This will be a nice finish for Christensen. If he can get Gaetti, falls behind now, 3-1. Two outs, nobody on in the 9th. Gaetti with 3 ribbies to give him 34 on the year. Pops him up. Jay Bell will make the catch for the final out. One more shot. Bottom of the 9th. 7-4 on Prime. Oh, young and old, the Bucks hoping for a comeback in the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll have to do it against one of the all-time greatest in the history of the game, Dennis Eckersley, the 41-year-old right-hander, who pitched Tuesday night against the Cincinnati Reds, giving up a run in 1 inning. Solo homer to Thomas Howard before he retired the side for his 12th save. And his numbers, 26 appearances, a 3.90 ERA. But he has been beaten. He's 0-5.
You see the strikeout and walk ratio. That's That's why he's so effective. At 3 walks, one of those walks is an intentional pass. He doesn't beat himself. You got to beat him with a bat. His arm not quite as live as it was perhaps 10 years ago, but he can still put the baseball where he wants to.
335 career saves, 4th on the all-time list, and Jay Bell takes a strike. Tony La Russa, one of his first moves, along with bringing over much of the coaching staff from Oakland, was to bring the Ekman. And he quickly jumps ahead 0-2. Bell to center field, and Langford makes the catch. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
3 pitches, 3 strikes. You know, when you're behind like the Bucks are, you'd like to go out there, maybe take a pitch, you see if you can get a base runner. Against a guy like Eckersley, that doesn't work out too well. You take a lot of pitches, you're just going to be hitting behind the count.
And a strike. 0-1 the count to Jason Kendall, who has grounded out twice and struck out. It's 0-2. Eckersley appeared in 52 games for the A's last year. 4.83 earned run average with 29 saves. And a chance, second base. Alicea will not get Jason Kendall.
He would have had him if he could have got the ball out of the glove the first chance. But as we talked about before, Alicea really struggling with the glove this year. A lot of errors and not being able to make what would have been a good play there. Here you're going to see the replay. He just can't get it out of his glove. Eckersley knocks it down for him. And if he smoothly makes that play right there, he's got him, but a couple extra steps and Kendall's by the bag.
So the Pirates have some life with 1 out. Charlie Hayes will pinch hit against Eckersley. And a reminder coming up following the game on Talkin' Bucks, Ozzie Smith will be Stan Savran's post-game guest. So you'll stick around and watch it all on Prime. Charlie Hayes at .241 average, 9 homers, 40 runs batted in. And again, we remind you, 2 more games left on the homestand before the All-Star break as Hayes fouls it out of play. Tomorrow night, 7:05, Danny Darwin against Alan Bennis. Forbes Field Memories posters given away to the adults, and on Sunday, kids magazines in the 135 contest against these Redbirds. Eckersley trying to nail it down for Stottlemyre. Inside, 1-1. Hayes, a base hit. Well, 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 2 men on with 1 away. Pinch hit, single for Hayes. Now the tying run steps to the plate. Nelson Liriano.
And now things get a little bit more interesting. Good pitch right down at the knees. And Charlie able to bang it right by Bell at third base.
Dave Duncan again talking to Eckersley, along with Tom Pagnozzi. And the home plate umpire Larry Vanover going to go to the mound and break up this meeting.
Russo all by himself on the end of that bench.
Don't see this very often, but the reliever is going to get up and begin warming.
Fawcett,
Tony Fawcett, yep, a left-hander. Yeah, you have to wonder if
Fawcett has been that workhorse this year. He leads their bullpen in appearances. And he got Al Martin down the road. He's in the on-deck circle. You got Orlando Merced, Mark Johnson even further down that road. If we get there, that means Eckersley obviously is not doing the job. I think Fossas will be in the ball game.
1 ball, no strikes to Liriano. It's 2-0. The Pirates have had some comebacks, a couple of them anyway, against a couple of the top relievers in the game. Who could forget that incredible come-from-behind win against Rob Nen of the Florida Marlins? The Jeff King base hit to right field here at Three Rivers. 2-0 pitch. Liriano drives one to right field. Jordan back, and he makes the catch. Oh, my. Liriano stung that ball.
Well, there's an example right there of an outfielder late in the ball game, tie and run at the plate. He was playing no doubles. Don't let anything get over my head. Early in the ball game, Liriano hits this. This is double off the wall. No way that Jordan plays him this deep. I mean, look at that. He was just steps from the warning track, was able to reach up and make that play right in front of the wall. That ball was hit on a line, too. It didn't have a lot of air under it, didn't hang up there for very long. And Eckersley is coming out of this ball game, and Fossas is going to come in and pitch to Al Martin.
I told you,
La Russa did not like what he saw there. Liriano driving that ball to the wall.
So it's Tony Fossas coming in to try and face Al Martin. He will face Al Martin with 2 men on and 2 outs, and the Pirates trailing 7-4. And again, we remind you, tomorrow night, Danny Darwin facing Alan Bennis. A 7:05 first pitch start. Forbes Field memories, collectible posters given away to the adults tomorrow night. And Sunday afternoon, a 1:35 first pitch start. Kids magazines to the youngsters. 321 bucks, 1-800-BUY-BUCKS for ticket orders. And of course, you can buy your tickets as well here at the stadium underneath Gate A. Bucks have been getting some really nice crowds this homestand, and love to see you tomorrow and or Sunday against the St. Louis Cardinals before the All-Star break, and the Bucks will be on the road. Well, Tony Fossas comes on. He pitched 2/3 of an inning against the Pirates last night. He did give up a 1-out double to a left-hand hitter, Orlando Merced.
That was a breaking ball, too, that Merced hit. Kind of a pitch that was up around the belt. Orlando hit that ball in that right center field gap.
Al Martin has faced Fossas 3 times. He is 0 for 3 against him. He's grounded out a couple of times and lied out. So it comes down to this. The veteran left-hander Tony Fossas against Al Martin. Fossas 0-4, a 3.38 ERA with 2 men on. Martin represents the tying run. But you'd love to see Jeff King get a chance. And a strike. Martin really has not had... No, he's 0 for 4. He drove one deep to left in the 3rd inning. He's bounced back to the mound a couple of times tonight. And not a good-looking swing. He's in the hole 0-2.
Well, that's all Fossas is going to give him, a steady diet of breaking balls. If he throws him a fastball, it's going to be off the plate somewhere. In fact, that most of the breaking pitches he's going to see from here on in are going to be off the plate also.
Martin fouls it out of play.
That was a mistake pitch there. He left it, wasn't a strike, but it was up. He got away with that.
Al Martin against Tony Fossas. Cardinals have beaten the Bucks 4 straight. Going back to last weekend. Left field and slicing foul.
Well, that's the way that Al needs to be thinking right now, down that left field line, no doubt about it. He tries to pull that big sweeping breaking ball of Fossas. He's not going to make any contact with it. It's going to sweep the plate, end up outside, And Al's got to think, hit the ball right where it's pitched. And he's got a big hole over there. Bell is way off the third base line. And now they're going to try to cross him up here a little bit. Now they're going back outside.
Whoa, he got him looking, and Martin thought it was high. Fosses strikes out Martin looking, and the Cardinals beat the Bucks 7-4. Fosses earns the save, and St. Louis, dating back to last weekend now, has beaten the Pirates 5 straight games. Let's go upstairs now to Stan Savran.
And the game ends as Al Martin takes a called third. He was the tying run at the plate, and the Pirates lose 7-4. Greg and Bob, some of our elderly viewers might remember the old Boston Braves slogan, "Spawn and Sane and pray for rain." Well, the 1996 Pirates might go with something like Darwin and Denny, and otherwise it's runs aplenty. Once again, outside of Danny Darwin and Denny Nagel, the Pirates starting pitching, especially as of late, has been horrible. Horrible again tonight. The Pirates down 7-0 by the time the top half of the fourth was over. They were never able to catch up, although they gave the home fans a good run with 3 home runs and had the tying run at the plate in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Coming up on Talking Bucks, we are going to talk to the Wizard, the one and only Ozzie Smith, who recently announced that this would be his final season in Major League Baseball. The numbers to call to reach us on Talking Bucks, 333-4026, 1-800-447-4525. We'll take a break. Greg will be back to wrap it up with Bob right here on Prime Sports.
We are back at Three River Stadium. The Cardinals defeat the Pirates 7-4, and it's not good news. I mean, you and I kind of chuckled when Stan Savran passed along that slogan that Pirate fans might be thinking, what was it, Darwin and Denny or runs aplenty?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of chuckle, but really, you look at it, it's not been good. Right now, the Pirates are down to 2 starting pitchers.
Nothing to chuckle about right now. Lanny and I kind of talked about this on the open, that the starting pitching is definitely building into a major problem here as we start the second half. Again tonight, Zane, we were hoping to see him with a good start because he had struggled the 3 times prior to this, and now 4 really poor starts in a row for him. And, you know, you start to worry a little bit. In spring training, you know, he was inconsistent, but then he got off to a great start the first 2 months, and you know, it was kind of like, well, we got the Zane of old back. But now he's looking more like some of the starts he had in spring training.
So, or last year with the Boston Red Sox.
And so now, you know, you start to get a little concerned. You know, if you had 4 other guys out there that are being very consistent, you just kind of slough it off and say, well, he'll be okay. But, you know, as Stan said, we're getting down to where there's only 2 guys that are going out there every 5 days and giving good starts.
And one of those
that's going to stop.
And one of those 2 guys is 40 years old. I mean, you can't really think that, you hope that Danny Darwin has as good a second half as he did the first half, but everybody thinking that, you know, the same thing could happen to Danny Darwin. You don't think it will, but it very is possible.
Well,
anyway.
yeah, you know, he is up there in age, but you know, you cross your fingers and hope that everything goes fine for him this year. But you know, a good effort tonight by the offense and a good effort tonight by the bullpen. You know, the starting pitching has been getting inconsistent, but I think the bullpen has hung in there pretty tough, really over the last month here. They've had their bad moments, but it seems like they're having to come in the first 5 innings an awful lot, and anytime a bullpen has to do that, they're going to have their bad moments. Starting pitching is going to have to get better, not only to win some ball games, but to try and give that bullpen a night off every now and then, because, you know, you can't use 3 or 4 of those guys, you know, every night.
And by the way, the Pirates, having lost now 5 in a row to the St. Louis Cardinals, who are 15-5 against National League Central Division opponents, the Pirates fall to 8-12 against the division. So Bucks hope to regroup and go back at it tomorrow night. It will be Danny Darwin going for the Pirates. You look at the game summary tonight: 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals, and 7 men left stranded for the Redbirds. 4-9-1, the line across for Pittsburgh with 7 men left. Stottlemyre wins. He's 8-6. And he has won 2 of the 3 starts against Pittsburgh. Zane Smith falls to 4-6. Numbers not good for the veteran left-hander over his last 4 starts. Tony Fosses picks up his 2nd save. On the offensive side of the ledger, Orlando Merced hitting his 12th home run of the year. Mark Johnson was 3 for 4 with 2 homers. He now has 7 dingers on the season. Again, the Pirates will take on these Redbirds tomorrow night in the 3rd game of the series, 7:05, Danny Darwin against Alan Venice. The executive producer of Pirates Baseball on Prime Sports is Gil Lucas. Tonight's game has been produced and directed by Dennis Galloway. Associate producer Mark Bedonick. The vice president of broadcasting for the Pirates is Mark Driscoll. Coordinating producer Ann Donahue. Remote facilities provided by Unitel Mobile Video. Statistical information provided by Stats Incorporated and Interactive Sports Television. Our next telecast of Bucco Baseball here on Prime comes up Thursday, July the 11th. The Bucks take on the Reds at Riverfront in Cincinnati. Airtime 7:25. Steve Last will have the Pirates pregame report. Now stay tuned. Coming up, it's Talkin' Bucks with Stan Savran, his very special guest, the Wizard, Ozzie Smith. Now for Lanny Fratteri, Bob Walk, and Steve Blass, I'm Greg Brown. Thanks for being with us. Hope to see you at the ballpark tomorrow night. Final here, 7-4 Redbirds. You saw it on Prime Sports.